So listen to this. I've arrived at Heathrow Airport. I've given myself 4 to 5 hours so that I can get to the airport, get to the lounge, relax. I don't have to worry about rushing around or anything like that. I always like to get to the airport early, okay? Going through to passport control to go through security to get into the lounge. I need to grab my passport to show it. So I take my backpack off. I unzip the top with the zip right next to my neck so it's a little bit more secure. Reach in to grab my passport and pull out absolutely nothing. That's weird. I know I put it in the top there. I know I did. Has it been stolen? Have I misplaced it? I don't know what's going on at this point. Starting to panic a little bit at this point. So I'm going through my bag, taking everything apart. It's not in there. Hand luggage, it's not in there. I open my case up. I'm going through everything with a fine-tooth comb. I'm reaching into my socks to see if it's in there for some reason. No matter where I look, in my bags, my purse, and my jacket, no passport can be found. So at this point, I really am starting to panic. I'm thinking, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. I'm going to miss my flight going out to Toronto Airport. So I had the great idea of getting into a cab, dashing home. It's about 1 hour, 20-minute drive. Get into the house, unlock the door, turn the alarm off, run upstairs. I know the exact drawer where the passport always is. I open the drawer, passport's not there. What's going on? I've just checked all my baggage. It's in the airport. The missus is there holding on to all my baggage, looking at her watch every 5 seconds, no doubt. And I've come all this way, paid for a taxi, and it's not there. So I phone her up and go, I haven't got it. It's not here. And what do you mean it's not there? It's not here. It's not in my bags. It's not here. So she says, did you by any chance put it in my backpack? I made the flight, but only just. And to my defense, her bag looks very similar to my bag, okay? It was one of these things that I really don't share because it was probably the most stupid moment and it comes from panicking. But from that experience, a few years ago now, comes this design. This is the Flightmaster currency wallet. The idea of this wallet is to keep you organized and keep your belongings safe in one place where you know it's going to be. On the top, we have storage for passports, documentation, hotel information, home currency and cash that you can spend in the airport if you want to. So that is a large pocket that goes in the top here. In the bottom, we have the foreign currency. And this is where you can put all the currency that you're going to need when you go to your destination country, but also information about activities that you're going to do. Again, your hotel stay information, home address in case it goes missing. And of course, you can take all your cash out, put it into your regular wallet, and then put it back in here and stick it in the safe at night where it's nice and safe and sound. So that's the idea behind this. It's just to keep you more organized in a really stylish way. But also there's some features built into it that give an added benefit of security. And one is the wristlet here. So this is going to hold nice and strong. So if, for example, one of two things, somebody sees you put your passport in there with cash, for example, they run by, grab it, well, it's still attached to you. And it's attached to a very strong D-ring, which is then reinforced into the side seam. So it's very, very strong. It's also waxed too, so it's not that easy to grab. So this here is also to allow you to let go. So if, for example, you need to grab your wallet, you can let go, open your jacket, grab your wallet, take a bag for someone, put your carry-on baggage on the aircraft, and this is where it stays. And you can really play around with the design from this course because you can add a toggle here to make sure it's more secure. You can make it more reinforced. You can add in some Kevlar materials, for example. You can even add RFID blocking fabric. So on the inside, it is actually lining with material. So it's not using leather on the inside necessarily. So it remains nice and thin and strong, and it's not taking up a lot of bulk because, of course, you've got things to put in there. So you want it to be nice and slim to begin with. So you can put RFID material in there. So can keep your biometric passport safe, credit card safe, and essentially turn this into Fort Knox on your wrist if you wanted to. So think of it as a little bit more of a blank canvas, and then you can really play around with the design. You can add broguing to it if you want to. You can make it out of exotic skins, perhaps alligator or ostrich. It would look fantastic. And of course, there's a large area on the front and the back where you can really show off the detail of the grain or the skin that you're working with. Now, this particular video course, I teach how to patina and how to hand dye fundamentally. So this starts out as undyed vegetable tan leather. I teach you how to add your hand dyes, what to use, how to apply it, and also around the edge. It's a little bit subtle. You might not be able to see it too much on camera, but it's a very subtle patina, giving it somewhat of an age, a little bit of a vintage look to it. Not too overt. I like mine personally nice and supple, but the technique is the same regardless of how you like your patina. Now, when it comes to colors, this is where I've had a little bit of freedom of artistic expression, I guess. I've gone for a very similar color scheme to the American French flag. The British flag is white, red, and blue. So we have the white, the red, and the blue represented. So if your national colors, for example, are just two-tone, say Canada or Japan, we have red and white, well, you could have an entire red piece, but that one zip is white. And if you're from a country with multiple colors, South Africa comes to mind, well, you can play around with quite a few different colors on here because you can have a different strap, D-ring attachment color, play around with the colors of the zip pullers, the zip tape itself, the front and the back of the wallet, the edge paint, the thread. You can really play around with it. You can even allow colors go from one color to the other with your patina, from yellow to red, for example. So you can have a lot of fun with it and represent your own country when you're abroad traveling around. And this course is now available on leathercraftmasterclass.com. If you're not familiar with the Leathercraft Masterclass, it's a series of courses teaching you the art of fine leathercraft. And if you're brand new, simply go to leathercraftmasterclass.com, links below. There'll be a pop-up there. If you put your email in, I'll send you 2 guides. One is going to be teaching you what tools you need, and the other is going to be teaching you a little bit about how to select high quality leather. The 2 of the most important foundations of leathercraft before you move on to learning knowledge, how to use the tools, how to use the leather to create beautiful products. So thank you for watching. This is the Flightmaster currency wallet. I'll see you in the next video.